Hi all, in this session we are going to learn about encryption and decryption of Azure VM disks by using PowerShell commands. Here we can learn what is encryption, what is decryption, how we can enable encryption and decryption to our Azure VM disks, and where we are going to use this. Everything we are going to discuss in detail, and I am going to show it to you in a practical manner as well. Let us quickly understand what do you mean by encryption. Encryption is nothing but converting of readable format of data into the unreadable format. In the similar way, decryption is also converting unreadable format of data into readable format. Why we need to encrypt and decrypt? Here, in order to prevent unauthorized access. Generally, where we are going to save our data? In disks. Suppose if the data is not encrypted, somebody steal my data or hard disk, they can be able to access my data if it is in the readable format. Suppose if it is encrypted, even though somebody steals my organization data, he cannot be able to read my data because of it is encrypted. So that's why in order to provide the security to our data which we are going to store in the disk, we are going to encrypt and decrypt. So encryption is used to convert data from readable format to non-readable format. Once we had done the activity, then we need to decrypt the data in order to make the data will be in the readable format. Fine. Assume here the scenario is different. Generally what we will do, we are going to create the virtual machines in the Azure, and we are going to attach the data disks to the VMs. Here we have two types of disks are there. One is OS disk and the second one is data disks. You know, the OS disk consists of data files like OS files, binary files like that, and whatever the data which is related to the project, where we are going to save in the data disk only. Suppose in my organization, I am going to save the organization data in the Azure VM disks, means on Microsoft infrastructure. Suppose assume if the Microsoft infrastructure itself is compromised, then what will happen? Somebody can be able to steal my organization data. Is that it is going to create some kind of business loss. So in order to avoid that, what we will do, even though the Azure is going to provide some default encryption to our data, we are going to provide some kind of additional layer of security to our VM disks. What kind of encryption has been provided by the Azure? It is going to provide some kind of default encryption with SSE with PMK, stands for server side encryption with platform managed key. By default, the Azure is going to provide some kind of default encryption. This is SSE with PMK, server side encryption with platform managed key. Even though if we want to provide additional layer of security in order to protect the data which we are going to save in the Azure VM disk, then we are going to add some kind of additional encryption feature to our Azure VM disk. How that will be done? I am going to show it to you guys. So quickly what I will do, I am going to create one VM and I am going to attach one data disk, and I am going to show you step by step procedure. So here what are the steps I am going to follow? Here I had mentioned each and everything. So just please read this material as well. Suppose if you found any kind of difficulty while doing the practices from your end. So quickly what I will do, I am going to do the login. I am going to make the login to the Azure portal. Just click on the resource groups. Right now you have any resource group right now with you? No. Just click on create. Here I am going to create one resource group. The name of the resource group is RG1. Click on review plus create. Click on create. It is going to create the resource group in the East US region and create the virtual machine. Here click on create. Click on Azure virtual machine. So it is going to redirect you to the virtual machine tab. There just select the resource group is RG1. The name of the VM is VM1. You are going to create in the East US region, and no infrastructure redundancy required. Security type standard. image, I'm going to select Windows Server 2019, and the size is, this one is enough, standard DS1 V2, and username, I'm going to set the username devtester928, and password, I'm going to set the password. Yes, I'm going to allow the ports HTTP, HTTPS, RDP. Fine. Just click on next disk. So here what I will do, along with the OS disk, I just want to attach one data disk as well. Here we have the option create and attach new disk. Here I am going to make as disk 2. Here the source type is, suppose if you want to attach this disk from any kind of snapshot or storage block, then you can select accordingly, but right now I just want empty disk, so that's why I just selected empty disk. Here it is purely your choice, so right now I am going to select 4 GB data disk, that will fulfill my requirement. And key management, here we are selecting platform manager key. Here we have two things are there, platform manager key and customer manager key is there. So I am going to continue with the platform manager key, means it is going to provide by the Azure only. Here enable shared disk, here by default it has been selected as no. What will happen if I select it as, it will, if I select yes, what will happen, that data disk which I am going to create is going to share among the VMs. Here up to 3 VMs I can be able to share the disk which I am going to create. But right now I just do not want to share this disk with any of the VM. So that's why I am going to select the option as no. And enable this option. What will happen? By default, whenever you are deleting the VM, automatically it is going to delete the data disk as well along with the VM. If you enable this option. Otherwise, even though if you delete the VM, it is not going to delete the data disk, it will remain same. Suppose if you want to attach the data disk to any other VM, then you can attach. Okay, just click on create. Okay, then without doing any other thing, leave as it is default and just validate it. Once the validation has been successfully passed, just click on the option create, which will be highlighted. Then it is going to make the deployment. Okay, your virtual machine will be created soon along with 4 GB of data disk. In the meanwhile, what we will do, we are going to create one Azure Key Vault as well. So with the help of the Azure Key Vault, we are going to encrypt. So here, go to home. So search for the Key Vault. Generally, why we are going to use the Key Vault? In order to save the credentials, certificates, secrets, whatever the things which is confidential, we are going to save in a secret place, that is nothing but Key Vault. Just click on create. Here I am going to select the resource group as RG1 only. The Key Vault name is, I am going to set KV 112233. This is the name I am going to set. It is also already taken, then I will try 44. Let me check whether it has been okay. 9 KV 1122334449, and I am going to create in the region East US, and the pricing there is standard only. So here the retain delete days to retain deleted vaults is 90 days. I'm going to continue with the default options which has been provided by the Azure guys. Just click on next. Here in the access configuration, here you have the two permission models are there. The first one is Azure role based access control. If it is recommended when, if you have the entire organization setup is there, so with the help of the role based access you can be able to control. Otherwise, if you don't have that kind of setup, like it is going to create for the lab purpose now, so that's why I'm going to select the vault access policy. Here the resource access, I need to enable this option. So Azure Disk Encryption for volume encryption. Volume is nothing but disk only. So here I'm going to enable this. Okay, fine. So here in the access configuration, you need to enable this vault access policy and enable this Azure Disk Encryption for volume management. The same thing I had mentioned over where in the material as well. Just refer the material for your quick reference. And come to here, just click on next, and you need to allow access from all networks. Review plus create. Just it is going to validate and just click on create. So Here two things we had created. The one thing is VM along with the data disk, and the second one is Azure Key Vault. So go to the mission which you had created. The name of the mission is VM1, and it has one data disk is also there. So I just try to connect to the VM. Just download the RDP file. RDP is the remote desktop protocol. The port number is 33810, which is used to remotely connect to take the remote of any Windows machine. Again, download the RDP file. So maybe the machine is not yet ready. So that's why it is not asking me to password. Right now it is going to ask the password. So I am just passing the password. So let me check whether it will be connected or not. Yes. So it is going to make me allow to connect to the VM. Why? Because of I had enabled the port 3389 while creating the mission. So if you didn't enable the port 3389, it is not allow you to take the mission remotely. Okay, so the mission will be loaded soon and it will take some time. So in the meanwhile, what I will do, I just have a quick look on the key vault whether it has been created or not. So I just open the notepad. Here what is the VM name? VM1. Resource group name is RG1. Vault name is, what is the vault name, guys? I'm going to show to you guys. Here vault name is KV1122339. This is the vault name. And come to the notepad here. Fine. So these three things you need to make sure. The VM name is VM1 and the resource group name is RG1. The vault name is KV112233449. So here the key vault has been successfully done, and just check whether your machine is ready or not. Okay, click on yes and close it. Here we have attached one data disk with size of 4 GB. Is it replicated or not? No, it is not going to replicate because of it is not yet initialized. So I need to make it to be initialized. So right now I have two disks. One is OS disk, that is C drive, and the another one is temporary disk. So here the Azure is not going to recommend you to save any of your data in the temporary storage, because of whenever the reboot happen, you are going to lose all of your data if you store your data in the temporary disk. Fine. So here I'm going to disk mgmt dot msc. Go here. Okay. Come here. Here if you see the disk to 3.98 GB is unallocated. So you just need to click here, new simple volume. Just click on next. Next. You are going to select the F drive. Whatever the drive you want, you can select accordingly. Suppose if you want to G drive, you can select the G drive. Next. And I'm going to set the file system as NTFS, new technology file system. So just click on finish. Then here one new volume will be created with the letter G, and right now you can be able to see the same in this PC. Is the volume replicated or not? Yes, it has been replicated. Fine. What you need to done furtherly? Here if you observe, there is encryption, default encryption which has been provided by the Azure. There is no encryption has been provided from the your end or customer end, like you are a customer. So here I didn't encrypt any disk. So the disk which I have, OS disk and data disk, both are provided with a default encryption which has been provided with the Azure only. From my end, I didn't provide any kind of encryption. So if I want to provide any kind of additional layer security by providing kind of additional encryption layer, then how I will do? The encryption that we do is ADE, Azure Disk Encryption, and it is based on the BitLocker. Okay, and it is based on which? BitLocker. Fine. So just close it, calm down. So here what I will do the next? So go to the Azure Cloud Shell of VM. So here go to home, come to Cloud Shell. So once the Cloud Shell has been successfully connected, what you need to do? Just go to the material. Here I just seen one thing. This is the command which you need to execute it in the Cloud Shell in order to encrypt your OS disk as well as data disk as well. Just copy the command and go to the notepad here. Here you need to, here dollar key vault, get Azure Key Vault. The vault name is technology. Here what is the vault name? This is the vault name. So here you need to rename it as okay KV. And the resource group name is, what is the resource group name? RG1. And again the resource group name is RG1. What is your VM name? What is your VM name? VM1. So here we had changed it. So here get Azure Key Vault. The vault name is this one and resource group name is RG1. And I am going to set Azure VM Description Encryption. The resource group name is RG1. The VM name is VM1. And this is the thing, default thing. So what you will do, you simply copy this command and you just need to execute the same over the Azure Cloud Shell. So if you want to clear the screen, what the command you need to pass? CLS. Okay, right click, paste. Okay, enter. It is asking you, the command line prepares the VM and enables encryption which may reboot the mission and takes 10 to 15 minutes to finish. Please save your work on the VM before confirming. Means if you are in the middle of any work, make sure you just need to save all of your data because of the machine is going to reboot while it is going to make the encryption. Simply press Y, enter. Then it is going to encrypt your VM. Suppose if your disk or data disk having lot of files, then it is going to take around 10 to 15 minutes of time in order to complete the encryption of your data disk and OS disk. So here one more thing guys. So while we are doing the encryption, first of all we need to done the encryption for the OS disk. Then later we need to encrypt the data disk. Without encrypting the OS disk, if we encrypt the data disk, it is throwing an error. Remember guys, you need to first encrypt the OS disk. Later only you can do the encryption of data disk only. Without encrypting the OS disk, if you try to encrypt the data disk, it is going to throw an error. This thing you need to remember guys. Okay, here I had mentioned each and every commands here regarding. Once the encryption has been successfully completed, I'm going to show to you guys. Here if you see earlier, if you see, there is no lock symbols are there. Here lock symbols will be visible here. Had you observed it? Means as I already told to you now, the encryption which we are going to do is ADE, Azure Disk Encryption. It is based on BitLocker. Means it has been successfully protected with the help of BitLocker keys. Like what happened here, even though the Azure is going to provide some kind of default encryption like SSE with PMK, but from my end I'm going to provide some kind of additional security like by using the encryption at BitLocker, that is Azure Disk Encryption. So fine, here you had been successfully checked now. The lock symbol has been appeared, means clearly the encryption is done. So here where you need to go, here you go and check the same. The requested is success status code is okay, true. Okay, means the encryption has been successfully completed. Then if I want to check the status, how? Just copy the same command. In order to check the disk encryption status, we have the command is there. Just copy and paste here. And here, what is your RG1 and the VM name is, what is the VM name? VM1. Enter. Is it showing? The OS volume is encrypted, data volume is encrypted. So it is showing us that OS disk and data disk has been encrypted. Fine. Successfully my data has been encrypted. Fine. I have another requirement, right? What is that? I just want to disable the disk encryption. How that will be done? Suppose if you want to enable the if you want to disable the disk encryption only for your data disk or OS disk, here you can simply type volume type as OS. Here if you want to disable the disk encryption for your data disk, here you can type volume type as data. Here if you want to disable the disk encryption for both of your OS disk as well as data disk, then you can mention all, volume type as all. So here I want to disable the disk encryption for both the volumes, like data volume at the same time OS volume. Simply copy this command, go here, paste here. Here what is your VM name? VM1, and resource group name is RG1. Enter. It is again asking you the command line disables encryption on the VM which may reboot the mission. Please save your data on the VM before confirming. Yes, I just want to continue because of right now I don't have any data, but in the real time you have a lot of data on your VM. Make sure you just need to inform to the server owner while rebooting the any mission, because of without informing to the any server owner, if you reboot any mission, it will create some kind of business impact. Then they will ask you justification why you reboot the mission without informing to the server. Maybe at the time the server owner is in some other task. If you reboot the mission, he will lose the data. So in order to avoid such kind of collision, so make sure while rebooting any mission in the real-time environment, you need to take the proper approval from the server owner and the concerned stakeholders. So by taking the proper approval from them and specific timelines when the mission need to be rebooted at a specific interval of time. So based on the time zone, you are going to reboot the mission. So the encryption is done. Right now I am going to just decrypt the missions. Yeah, successfully the encryption has been decrypted. If you want to see in a graphical user interface, then how lock symbol will disappear. Here lock symbol is there? No. Earlier lock symbol is there when I had encrypted the data. Right now the lock symbol went off because of I just decrypt the disk. So in this way we can be able to encrypt the disk and we can be able to decrypt the disks. Okay guys, if you want to delete the Azure Key Vault, simply by passing this command you can be able to delete the Azure Key Vault as well. As I already told you guys, we always have to encrypt the OS disk C drive first, then later only we can encrypt the data disk. If we try to encrypt the data disk first, then it is going to throw an error. Okay guys, and one more time I'm going to tell you guys, while after completion of your lab activity, make sure you just need to delete the resource group. Here I'm going to delete the resource group as RG1. So because of if you forget to delete, it is going to charge you more by the Azure. So I just delete the resource group. Once you delete the resource group, what will happen? Whatever the resources which has been created inside of your resource group will be deleted automatically. If you forget to delete any resource, the Azure is going to charge. Then it will be automatically deducted from your credit card if you have linked your credit card with this subscription. So make sure guys, you need to delete all the stuff which has been created by simply clicking deleting of resource group. Makes you deletion of all the resources. Fine. Okay guys, hope you guys understood the session, and if you like my video, please please like and please make the comment. And if you love my video, then please share with your friends or colleagues who is looking to enhance their skills in the cloud technologies, like whether it may be Azure or whether it may be AWS, whatever the stream is there. So in our channel we have make lot of videos on Azure, AWS DevOps, Azure DevOps. So definitely that will be helpful for them to enhance their skills. I hope you guys love my videos, And as I told to you, if you have any queries, please put your queries in the comment section. Accordingly, whenever I am freely available, I will revert to those queries. At the same time, if you are looking for the material, then please put me your email ID in the comment section. Accordingly, I am going to add your email ID to the Google Classroom. Then accordingly, you will have the access to the material which I had uploaded there. Then it will be very easy for you while performing the lab activity from your end, and it will be very useful for you for a quick reference as well. Okay guys, thank you so much for your support, and I will meet up you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you, bye bye.